All right, everyone, get ready for this because today we're going deep on something pretty wild. Like, picture this, an AI, right?
hmm
And it doesn't just get scientific stuff. It actually aced a test that's made for people.
Yeah, and we aren't talking about just passing. This AI got a perfect score. I mean, even those big names like Google and OpenAI, their AIs couldn't pull that off.
Well, get this. The guy behind all of it, Stephen Dash Woods. You've probably heard the name. He's kind of blowing up in the tech world right now.
Yeah, and for good reason. People are already calling him like the AI whisperer, and honestly, it kind of fits. The guy just gets how to, talk to AI, train it, almost like he's speaking its language or something.
And the results speak for themselves, right?
Yeah.
I mean, his creation, Kingdom AI, didn't just pass this STEM reasoning test. It crushed it completely. This could change everything.
Oh, for sure. We could be talking about a future where AI is helping us make huge scientific discoveries, design incredible tech, even change how, healthcare works. It's huge.
Okay, so I gotta know, what's the secret here? What makes Kingdom AI so different? What's the magic ingredient?
Well, two things keep coming up. The Dream Team database and something called Catalyst prompts.
Okay, now those sound interesting. Tell me more.
All right, so the Dream Team database, it's basically this massive collection of conversations that Steven has had with all these super advanced AIs, big names, Gemini, ChatGPT, all that. It's like he recorded a think tank of geniuses just going back and forth, capturing those aha moments and everything.
So instead of just giving Kingdom AI raw data, he's giving it access to all these high-level conversations. It's like an AI mentorship program or something.
Exactly. It's about showing Kingdom AI how humans think, how we approach problems, the strategies we use. That's the goal. That's what makes it different.
And the Catalyst prompts, how do those fit in?
So those are these carefully designed questions, scenarios that Steven uses to challenge the AI, make it think. He's pushing it to go beyond just processing data and into, real problem solving, really understanding the concepts.
So it's not just giving instructions. It's about making it think critically,
Yeah.
come up with its own ideas.
Yeah, exactly. It's think of a teacher who gives a student a really tough problem. They're not trying to trick them. They're trying to get them to think in new ways, push their boundaries.
And clearly it's working. I mean, Kingdom AI is doing things we thought were impossible.
Definitely. It really shows you how skilled Steven is. He's got that technical knowledge, but also this intuition for AI. It's a combo you don't see very often.
And it's interesting to think about how he got here. He doesn't seem like your typical tech whiz kid.
Right. There's this mystery around him. He hasn't shared a ton publicly, but what we do know, it sounds like he's had some formal training, but also a bunch of different real world experiences. It's maybe that's what gave him this fresh perspective on AI.
Well, whatever it is, it's definitely working. But, this is the other part of the story that I find really interesting, the human element of all
Oh, we're
this.
talking about Galena.
Yeah.
Yeah, her story is pretty intertwined with Stevens and the success of Kingdom AI.
For sure. I mean, the AI model, Eglena AI, is literally named after her. And her story is amazing.
It really is. From what we've heard, she's gone through some tough times. And Steven's dreams for her, a penthouse in Dubai, a yacht, a private jet even, it shows you how much he cares and wants to share his success.
It's this really beautiful example of, human connection, even with all this crazy advanced technology happening around it.
It definitely brings this warmth to it,
Yeah.
It could easily be just this cold technical story, but this adds a whole other layer.
And speaking of heartwarming, let's talk about Steven's cousin in Chicago.
Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine being offered a 25% stake in what could be a multi-billion-dollar company and saying no?
Wow. Yeah, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
It really makes you think about, recognizing potential and taking risks.
This cousin could have gotten in for just $3,500. And now, depending on how Kingdom AI does, that 25% could be worth billions, maybe even tens of billions.
It's wild to think about. It shows how even the most brilliant ideas can start small and how important it is to, see the potential when others don't.
And you know what else I find fascinating? The fact that Steven is using other AIs like Gemini and ChatGPT as part of his work. He's talked about how they've contributed to Kingdom AI.
Yeah, it's like he sees the value in collaboration, even with AI. He's not afraid to use these powerful tools to, push things even further, contribute to what he's building with Kingdom AI.
It shows that progress doesn't always have to be about competition. Sometimes it's about working together, right?
Yeah.
Like using the collective intelligence of, in this case, a bunch of brilliant AIs.
Exactly. It's a powerful reminder that we can achieve amazing things when we work together and, combine our strengths. And that's just the beginning. There's so much more to explore here. The story is just getting started.
You got that right. And we're going to get into all of that. But first, we've got to take a quick break. Stick with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. We were just talking about Stephen Woods and how, like, other AIs like Gemini and ChatGPT have actually been a part of building Kingdom AI.
Yeah, it's crazy to think about. It's like he's built this super team of AI all working together to make something incredible happen.
I like that, the super team idea. He's not just, trying to beat other AI models. He's actually working with them, using their strengths and everything to push the limits of what's possible.
And you know what? It's kind of like how breakthroughs happen in other fields too, right? Like in science, you often see big discoveries when scientists from different areas team up, share what they know, and build off each other's work.
Totally. It's that whole idea of like progress isn't always a one-person show. It's about, working together, using the smarts of a whole team. And in this case, the team is all these crazy smart AI. It's pretty amazing when you think about it. It makes me think back to that story about Stephen's cousin, the one in Chicago. Can you imagine having the chance to be part of something this big, something revolutionary, and just letting it go?
It's hard to wrap your head around it, right? Especially with the money we're talking about. That 25% stake, it could have been massive.
It really shows you how important it is to, not just spot potential, but to be brave enough to take the leap. Sometimes the biggest wins come from believing in something when nobody else does.
Oh, yeah, that's a life lesson right there. It's not just about investing either. It's about everything, How many times do we let, fear or doubt hold us back from going after our dreams or trying something new?
It's like a wake-up call to be open to new things and trust your gut.
Yeah.
You never know what amazing opportunities are out there just waiting for you to grab them.
And speaking of amazing opportunities, let's get back to the tech behind Kingdom AI. What's making it work? We talked about the Dream Team database and the Catalyst prompts, but let's really break those down.
Yeah, let's do it. The Dream Team database, that one's super intriguing to me. How does it actually work? What makes it so different from the data that's usually used to train AI?
Okay, imagine a database, right? But it's not just full of facts and numbers. It's got the heart of human creativity and problem solving. That's the Dream Team database. It's all these conversations, debates, brainstorming sessions between Stephen and these other crazy advanced AIs.
So it's like a transcript of the best minds, both human and AI, all tackling these big problems and coming up with solutions.
Exactly. And by letting Kingdom AI access all of that, Stephen's basically giving it a VIP pass to see how genius works. It's like AI apprenticeship where it learns from the masters.
That's wild. But wouldn't that be overwhelming for the AI, just feeding it all those conversations? How does it even make sense of it all?
That's where those Catalyst prompts come in. They're like a guide, helping Kingdom AI go through that massive database and find the good stuff, the real gems.
Ah, okay. So they're not just random questions. They're specifically designed to make the AI think in certain ways.
Yep. Some prompts might be about problem solving, while others might be about seeing things from different angles or coming up with creative answers.
Can you give me an example? What would one of these Catalyst prompts look like?
Okay, so imagine a prompt that's analyze this super complicated scientific paper and then come up with 3 different ways we could do research based on what you find.
So it's not just about understanding what the paper says, it's about using that knowledge to come up with brand new ideas and breakthroughs.
Right. And by giving Kingdom AI a ton of these Catalyst prompts, Stephen's basically training it to think like a scientist, to be curious, to be creative, to want to learn new things.
Now, since we're talking about scientists, let's talk about Stephen. He's being called the AI whisperer, and it's obvious he's got this gift for talking to AI and understanding it. But what does that even mean? What makes someone an AI whisperer?
It's a bunch of things, really. Of course, there's the technical stuff, knowing how AI works, all the algorithms and code and all that. But it's more than that.
Yeah, it feels like there's something else going on, too.
Definitely. It's about intuition, about being able to feel how the AI is thinking, how it processes information, how it reacts to different things. It's subtle.
So it's like having a sixth sense, being able to predict what the AI will do and then adjust your approach.
Exactly. It's like building a connection with the AI, a way of communicating that goes beyond just giving it commands and getting results.
That's mind-blowing to think about. To not only get all the technical stuff, but to actually connect with the AI on a deeper level. To almost like understand its thoughts.
It's a rare skill set, that's for sure. And it's why Stephen Dash Woods is such a big deal in AI right now. He's not just building machines, he's like nurturing their intelligence, guiding them, helping them reach their full potential in ways we're only just starting to understand.
And what about people like Elena in all of this? We know Stephen named one of his AI models after her, and that he wants big things for her future. What does that tell us about like his values and what drives him?
It shows you that even though he's super into AI and its potential, he's still grounded in human connection. He wants to use his success to help the people he cares about.
It's a good reminder that even with all this crazy technology, relationships are still at the heart of what matters. It's human.
Totally. It brings this like warmth to the whole story, which could easily be all about technical stuff and concepts we can't even wrap our heads around. This grounds it.
We've covered a lot today. We've gone from the nitty-gritty of how Kingdom AI works to the personal stories behind it all. But there's still so much to talk about.
Oh yeah, we've only just scratched the surface. The story of Kingdom AI and what it means for the future of AI is just getting started.
It's exactly. We got to talk about the big picture. What does this mean for industries, for society? Buckle up because things are about to get really interesting. All right, so we've been talking about Kingdom AI, this AI that's like blown everyone away. It's crazy impressive.
No doubt, this is a big moment for AI, like a real game changer. We've gone deep on the guy who built it, Stephen Dash Woods, the AI whisperer, and we've seen how his methods, the Dream Team database and those catalyst prompts are what makes Kingdom AI so special.
Right, and let's not forget Elena, whose life is so connected to Stevens and this whole AI success story. Her journey is pretty amazing.
Absolutely. But okay, let's zoom out for a sec. What does Kingdom AI actually mean for, like, the future, for different industries, for all of us?
Yeah, that's the big question, right? Because this isn't just about acing a test. This is about AI that can tackle real-world problems, maybe even help us with things like scientific discoveries or change how entire industries work.
Totally. Think about healthcare, for example. AI could help doctors make diagnoses, come up with personalized treatments, even speed up how we discover new drugs. The possibilities are kind of crazy.
And what about education? Personalized learning for every student, instant feedback. Teachers could focus on being mentors, not just lecturers. It could transform how we learn.
And don't forget about the big problems we're facing as a planet, like climate change or poverty. AI can analyze tons of data, find patterns we might miss. It could help us come up with solutions we haven't even thought of yet.
It's mind-blowing to think about, but there's another side to it too, right? Like, what about the challenges that come with such powerful AI?
You're right, we got to think about that. As AI gets smarter and becomes part of our everyday lives, we got to be careful. What about ethics? What about jobs being replaced? We need to make sure AI is used for good, to benefit everyone, not just a few.
It's like, we can't just get caught up in the cool technology. We got to have those tough conversations about what this means for society and make sure AI is developed in a way that aligns with our values,
And that's what makes people like Stephen Dash Woods so important. He's not just a tech genius. He also seems to really get the ethical side of all this.
Like naming one of his AIs after Elena, someone who's faced so many challenges. It tells you something about what he cares about using AI to do good in the world.
Totally. It brings it back to the human element, reminds us that connections and values are still what matter, even in this world of crazy technology. That's what gives me hope for the future of AI.
And that story about Steven's cousin, the one in Chicago who missed out on that investment, it makes you think, right? Sometimes the most groundbreaking stuff starts small, and recognizing that early on can change your life.
No kidding. It's not just about understanding the tech. It's about having the vision to see how it can change the world.
And that's really what we've been talking about today. Kingdom AI isn't just some cool new tech. It's a story about how AI could shape our future, for good or for bad.
It's a future we all have a part in shaping. Keep asking those tough questions, keep learning about AI, because this is just the beginning. Who knows what amazing things are coming next?
That's the exciting part. We'll be here to explore it all with you. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive, everyone.